All right, what's going on, everybody? Gibby Card Stacks here, and week one of college football is officially done, and we just had an insane run of sales. ComC, I had my best month of sales ever, and then on eBay, things were flying off the shelves. I'm really happy with just one, how the season started off, and then two, how the card market went. Just overreactions always happen week one. When teams win, then they're like, oh, it's going to project out for the rest of the season. When teams lose, they're garbage, they're trash, and people overreact that way as well. But I think that we hit on a lot of stuff, so I'm excited to talk about it. I've got a lot to share. Let's start. So first off, like I said, my best month of sales on ComC. As you know, I'd say about 80% of my buying happens on ComC. It's just easier. Instant transactions. We were making money. When I say we, it's Discord and Patreon. We were making money in the middle of the game. We were buying Taylon Green and Thomas Castellanos during those big games and flipping them immediately. So it was super awesome to see, and just very validating that all of the work and research and things that I enjoy the most really sort of pay off with a big month like this. I'm flipping through every single depth chart, looking at every single transfer portal transaction, looking at just about anything, every single checklist, watching their high school film if they don't have any film, watching Abilene Christian film for Maverick McIver, who they're saying is Heisman, right? So just those types of overreactions are always awesome as well. People see week one and they're like, whoa, this must, be true for the rest of the season. And same with week one with a bad game, and people are like, season's over, done, just cancel it. So let's talk about some sales here. We'll update my documenting every single sports card purchase that I make over the next 30 days. We'll talk about that. And then kind of also just YouTube in general for the future. So let's do that as well. So I actually don't know how much this all was, but this is everything that sold from Saturday and Sunday. Today is Monday, just before the UNC game. So this is everything that sold on eBay. Again, my best week on ComC. We can run through some of those sales. But Luke Altmaier, I took an offer on this. Kind of annoying. So they started at $60. I declined it. Then they jumped up at $75. Anytime somebody does that, when they jump up like a $15 increment, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to decline again, because chances are that's still not your best offer if you're willing to jump up that much. So I declined again, and then they suddenly jumped up to 95, and I was like, ugh, Gaby, do you test them again? I had this listed for 120, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a good guy. I paid $46 for this. I'll make my $30, move on. I've got so much Luke Altmaier. I've probably got 20 base autos or so, I would say, between ComC and what I have here. So I will get out of the graded copy. Ethan Grunkmeyer. I know it's Penn State, still a big brand, but I mean, we're making money off of backup quarterback. So he did score. This is a 1 of 1. I paid about $18 for this at auctions. People have probably never even heard of Ethan Grunkmeyer, but again, it just pays to look at product and project and stay on those auctions. So that, I think, sold for $50 total. I was pretty happy about that. Ruben Bain Jr., green auto right here. He dominated Notre Dame. One thing that's crazy, all the big games I got completely wrong. I'm going to take TCU. I don't think highly of UNC, so that means UNC is probably going to win. But I had Texas, I had Clemson, and I had Notre Dame, and I was like pretty confident in all three of those, if you ask me. I didn't put any money on them, but of course I have cards that kind of act as that. Nonetheless, Ruben looked really good. He was a guy that, one of the first guys, so again, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we make our money in the off season, and it is just, we're buying the Garrett Nussmeyers for $40, those base autos in December. We were looking at Ruben Bain before the 2026 draft even happened. I'm looking at 2020, or before the 2025 draft even happened, I'm looking at 2026 mock drafts, and I'm seeing Ruben Bain everywhere. Do some digging. He was hurt most of this season, but had a All-American freshman season, so it's things like that. Again, depth charts, just all consuming all types of content, right? So now it's finally paying off, which again is awesome. And I've been providing a ton of information lately on just all my thoughts. So this one sold, I think, for $30. I can't imagine, just because I don't like buying color autos and I don't like that $20 to $30 range, I probably paid about $10 to $12 on this, maybe $15. I took an offer for $250 on this. I got this at my local card shop. Malik Washington. I've been telling you about Malik Washington. I said, if you love recruiting rankings, if you love Bryce Underwood, if you think he's the #1 player in the country, and if you really believe that, hey, if you really love recruiting rankings, check out that Arch Manning class with Nico and Jackson Arnold and Malachi Nelson, our favorite. He was in a battle with Austin Peay's backup quarterback at UTEP. So think about that. The number 5 quarterback in the country 2 years ago, technically 2 years ago, was in a battle at UTEP, right? So now looking at this year's number 5, it's Malik Washington, and again, people love Bryce Underwood, they love Tavian St. Clair, they love Keelan Russell. I love Husan Longstreet at number 4, USC. He had 3 touchdowns this weekend, looked amazing. Riddle me that. I think he's the number 1 quarterback in the country. Nonetheless, Malik Washington, been one of those guys as well. I think he's super electric. Paid maybe $15 for this. I sold it for $46 total. Malik Washington, number 5 player in the country. Again, if you love recruiting rankings, you should love a top 5 quarterback. It doesn't make any sense. Bo Prabula, 1 of 1. Nice one here. I'm kind of bummed this one sold. Looked good at Missouri. I said it in my big Zion case recap or whatever. I was like, I don't like that they're playing 2 quarterbacks. Unfortunately, Sam Horn got hurt. Bo Prabula is the guy. Looks like he's the guy anyways. 4 total touchdowns. Missouri, I really like now that they've got that situated. Here's one that's kind of crazy. Jeremiah Love, looks like he might be injured again. Only like 4 carries. Best running back in the country, not getting touches. I don't know. Again, stuff that's out of my control, unfortunately. But Jeremiah Love, I took an offer at this on maybe $90, I think. So I was happy to get out of that. Haynes King, man, I've been telling you about him, and he put on a show versus Colorado. Unfortunate that the Baylor and Auburn game was at the same time and kind of splitting viewers, I would say. But Haynes King, the bee's knees, man. So like when I buy Haynes King, when I buy Diego Pavia, Brennan Sorsby, I'm like, that's the type of game that like they can all have. So it's just one of those things that I really like. This one sold, I think, after the first touchdown drive. This was $90. Ty Simpson, beautiful autograph. I don't think people are clowning on Ty Simpson, and if they do, they just don't know ball like that. But Ty Simpson, I think, looked really good. Looked great in the pocket, would extend plays, looked super smart, was placing the ball where he needed to. I like Ty Simpson. I was pleased. Florida State absolutely punked them. I had mentioned it, I think, in a couple videos. Maybe it was that or Patreon. And I was like, yo, this O-line is, like, looking legit. Like, I really like Florida State, and I'm starting to... I knew they weren't going to be the same 2-10 team, but I was like, I'm trending up. And then Alabama had some key injuries leading up to the week, and I'm like, ugh, don't like it. Thomas Castellanos with Gus Malzahn. But nonetheless, glad that sold because I've got so much Ty Simpson. And then Arch Manning Red Ice. This sold just before the game for, I think, $55. So I was happy about that. So that's everything that sold. We will package that up, and then I'll take you through my 30 days of purchasing as well. All right, so if you don't know, and if you haven't been following me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of those, I've been tracking every single purchase that I've made. I'll be doing it for the next 30 days. I think today is day 13. And so I've been tracking it. Do I like it? Not really, but it is what it is. It's content, and I will definitely stop after 30 days. There's no doubt about it. Just a lot of the stuff that I talk about, I'm like, you know what? This is like good for Patreon. Anyways, I've purchased 125 cards over the last 13 days and spent $1,600. Kind of crazy, kind of scary that we're just, I don't know. I don't even think about that. Normally I'm like, I don't know how much I spend on a given month, to be honest. So tracking it, is definitely eye-opening. Most of it has been through ComC, $1,100 there. Phoenix Sports Cards, that's my card shop near me. I wouldn't call it my local shop. It's not amazing. Discord made a couple purchases. Leaf, we bought 10 autos. That checklist is insane. I am breaking it down right here. You can see it. I've got all my notes. I'm going to watch some film and then make a video breaking that down. On Collects, I've made a couple purchases. That looks wrong. That is for sure wrong because I just carried that formula. So I will highlight that. That's what I've been buying, and if you want to follow along, again, I'm on all 3 platforms, all major platforms, recording every single purchase, and I've got 17 more days left, so follow along. All right, so Gaby, you mentioned it in the beginning of the video, and you said something about like, oh, we'll update you on YouTube. Yeah, I did some soul searching the other day or the other week, and I was thinking like, I had one of my best months of ComC, had an amazing week 0 of eBay sales, and I'm just like, man, this is just what I enjoy most, and this is why we do it. What does Gaby love most? And actually, there was an Instagram post by Keen. I've been watching Keen for a while, and he had like, hey, I might open up like a couple of consultations. And I DM'd him, and I was like, yo, like I just feel like I don't have any direction, and I'm just like, what am I doing? What does Gaby want to do? And he had messaged me, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna start going back to people or whatever. I'm like, cool, let me know, I'll sign up. So in the meantime, during the time that he was like, oh, like we'll follow up, and then just this weekend, I was like, you know what does Gaby love to do? Gaby loves to research. Gaby loves to, find these prospects and learn about them and find value in the hobby, right? So that is what I've always enjoyed and what I like to do most, and not necessarily like the YouTube stuff where it's like, oh, like creating thumbnails and like editing videos and thinking of new ideas of like, oh, this would be interesting for a video, and I'm like, not really where I want to go. I think long term, and I've been talking about it a lot, Patreon. So if you don't know, I've got a Patreon. It is $5 a month, and that's where if you just want my brain, if you enjoy my speaking of prospects and the education side of things, and if you want a piece of my brain literally just dumped out into electronic form in videos and text on Discord, there's a separate channel for that, Prospecting Plus. If you like that, consider a subscribe, because that's where I'm going to be posting a lot of my videos. I'm going to be probably doing less YouTube, just more focusing on that and providing value there. Hopefully the people that are on there, hopefully they provide or find the value. But yeah, that's just been on my mind, and I'm like, you know what, I am very confident in my abilities to kind of properly evaluate, scout, things like that, find the price and efficiency, see what's overhyped and what's underhyped, underpriced, and doing the research, finding out, who are the best buys in the checklist, who's up and coming. I don't think anyone else in the market is doing that. And so I just need to capitalize, double down, triple down, quadruple down on that. And that's my avenue. And I feel like I found peace with that. I feel like I was super happy as soon as I was like, you know what? Yes, this is what I need to do. I need to, YouTube, I think, has just been like dragging on for me where I'm like, oh, I gotta, I always felt obligated, I guess, to have a new video, and I always felt guilty when I was posting every single day. I posted almost every single day a full-length YouTube video for maybe a year-ish, maybe. It was crazy when I first started out, and not that I think I'm burned out, but it's just like I'm just like not like, that's just not what I enjoy the most. And you got to find what you enjoy the most. Again, it's like, why do I buy college cards? Because that's what I enjoy the most. What do I enjoy about it? I like, the prospecting side of things, and I like talking about it. And so if I can find something a little bit more enjoyable on Patreon than YouTube, and again, just the editing, and for me, my favorite videos that I've made on YouTube in the last like 3-6 months have been my ComC video where we had the top 100 players list, and we went on ComC and we just started shopping, and we were like, man, all right, let's go find some good deals on all these guys, let's talk about them, I'm going to educate you. And then I had a ComC video last week showing my whole Bowman University portfolio. That's one of my top favorite videos I ever made of all time. And then just again showing you my Zion case, I was like, man, that's one of my, like, I just like talking prospects, right? So that's what I enjoy the most, that's what I'm going towards. And I'm still going to be on YouTube. I'm still going to throw out some videos here and there, like probably like the Monday stuff, just recap and, whatever's on my mind, but definitely leaning towards the Patreon side. So that's my update for you. I'll still be making short form content as well. So there we go. So again, now I feel not a huge weight off my shoulder, but I'm just like, I feel so much better at peace. Hopefully people understand. Hopefully people enjoy my not as much YouTube content. You've kind of seen it over the last, it was just so busy this summer. I was traveling a bunch. That's my busy season. My busy season for work is like May to October still. But here, I am getting a little bit more travel, going to campuses and such. But yeah, just I feel at peace. I feel better. I feel good just having that decision, the clarity, the direction, the decision. I'd still love to talk to Keen, someone talk to Keen, but I feel like that, just reaching out and that alone just helped me find clarity, direction, all of that. So that's everything. Enough yapping. If you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. We'll see you next one. Peace, love you, bye.